Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day
I'm
today.
out. I'm out.
It wouldn't
Welcome
be
to Speak. I'm
allegedly
out.
because he
Welcome to
was
Speak. I'm
charged.
out. Welcome to Speak. I'm out. Welcome to Speak. I'm out.
Why, those
Welcome to
must be
Speak.
some
I'm
good
out.
wings.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who You With Curtdog.
Yay, yay. What's up? It's Thursday night. Y'all know I'm in the house tonight. Me and my girl, Miss Risky, is here. I want to shout out to everyone in the DFW. I know it's been a crazy week this week. Man, those storms the other night was crazy. I don't know about y'all, but had me in the closet, me and my wife, we in there praying. Lord, we was right in the path. But thank God we safe. Tonight, we're gonna hit on a couple of stories tonight. Trying to get my volume right in my earpiece. Testing one, two. Okay, I can hear it now. Um, but yeah, we're gonna hit on a couple of stories tonight. And my girl, you know what time it is. It's Thursday. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. D Live is always in the house, kicking it strong. You can live chat with us in the chat room. If you want to talk about the stories that we're talking about tonight, you always welcome to call in 972 uh 591-3665. Stop laughing at me, Risky. I know it's a rough day. So you can always call in, and you can also chat with us live in the chat room. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to welcome my little sister to the show, Miss Risky. What up, Miss Risky? What's going on?
Yeah, nothing much, just listening to this cat that's taking over my patio, marking his territory, fighting off haters. So
Why
don't
you
be surprised if
wanna?
you hear cat noises.
Mm,
That cat's from the streets.
Hey, that's one of those no hood cats.
The
Um,
feral cats.
they ready to rumble. When we first came on, I was like, "What is that? Is that a child or what was that?"
Like, do
It
you
was
need
the
to call
cat.
911? It's not. No, it's that cat that's taking over my patio.
Hmm.
I didn't even know it was there. It's like I woke up one morning, going to work, and then I saw like this thing on my patio, and because of the storms we had, I thought it was the planter that fallen down from my neighbors that landed in my patio space. And I doubled back. No, it's just a fat cat. And it's like, okay then, how long you been there? Because I've been hearing you for a minute. So
Well,
yeah.
hey, he was just the cat was just telling you have a great day at work. They
Now
didn't.
he's probably telling me to good night because I only hear it when I come home from work.
No.
It's usually sleeping in the morning.
Yeah.
But, but it's been missing for a couple of days. I was like, I almost had to call somebody. It's like, it's
Have
not
y'all
my cat, but it's a cat. Yeah, but now I
put
miss it.
put up flyers talking about? Have you seen this cat?
I know. And then the picture that I got, because it was so sunny, you can't even tell what it is.
Mm,
Like, I sent it to my friend, and I was like, "Is this how people get cats?" Like,
Just show up.
yeah, they
Now,
just show up. I mean, it's horrible because the sun was bright,
oh yeah,
so I didn't get, and
look
then I
almost
didn't bother to get another shot. So that gray thing
look
is the
almost like a raccoon.
pretty much. I mean, it's big as a raccoon. And that thing is either pregnant or just fat.
Well, you'll know shortly when
Yeah, that's probably why she's fighting off the, haters. Like, get out of my space. I'm about to have some kittens.
and you'll know. You start hearing, yeah, and then you start putting milk out there, and
Nope.
no, oh, I'm sorry, that's
And
not.
word on the street, they don't. Well, adult cats they drink water, not milk.
Well, I'm gonna leave that alone.
I mean, that's what the shelter. Because I've had to call on a cat that was pregnant, that was on the steps, and like it was dying in the hottest time of the year. And they were like, "No, don't leave milk out. Just give it water." I was like,
Because
"All
the
right."
milk could spoil.
Well,
It'll,
that too, but yeah, usually you just give it water.
yeah, the milk could
Like I
spoil,
think the
and
milk thing, you just see a lot of it on TV because that's what we just,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
what they want us to believe. Give cats milk as high as
right.
milk is today. They lucky. They getting
I think
milk
it's
at
a
all
marketing ploy. Like it's like why give cats cow milk? Mm.
because they think cats are babies.
I mean, we shouldn't even be drinking cow's milk.
I drink almond milk, so
Same
when I,
here.
when I drink it, I drink almond milk, which is always good.
I just use it to wet my cereal.
Well, yeah, yeah, it is. It's good for that. I don't hardly eat cereal, but I do every once in a while. So
Love cereal.
I did a couple of weeks ago. Um, I'm from the old school. Um, I can't. It's I cannot get a small bowl of cereal. I got
Well, you're a big boy, so
I got to get me a big bowl of cereal. So, um, and last couple of weeks ago, I was craving cereal. So I said, you know what? I'm eating cereal.
I've been craving like I want to see if the Frosted Flakes taste like they still did back in the day.
They do.
Now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch does not.
I I get those sometime. I get them and
I tried.
then
It tastes oily. Something's wrong with it. I don't know if they changed the recipe, but it tastes oily. Doesn't taste like it did back in the day.
yeah, I
And
like
then Captain Crunch, still tears up your
crunchy.
mouth,
Yeah, make your
but
mouth.
it tear it, it but it breaks down the tartar on your teeth. So even though it's bad for your teeth, it's kind of good for your teeth.
Yeah. Now
Breaks up the plaque in your
I
gums and your mucosal lining.
I used to do Applejack all the time. Applejack cereal.
I do the adult version, the Cheerios,
It have
the
liquor in
apple
it.
cinnamon Cheerios.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah.
I love
It's good for
Cheerios.
you. It's good for your heart.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with the almond crunch Cheerios.
Okay.
Really tasty. So
Well,
yeah,
I don't eat a bunch of cereal. I will buy them because my wife she eat them quite a bit, and so I will purchase cereals and go from there. But
yeah, it's quick and easy.
exactly, a little light snack. Now, what I have been doing this week, and I've done it every day this week except yesterday. I've been making me smoothies in the morning, fruit smoothies. So,
I still have some in my freezer. Like I'll buy some fresh fruit, separate it in little baggies with the flavors I want, and throw them in the freezer so that when I put them in my mixer, I don't have to put ice in it.
oh, I don't use ice.
Yeah, I don't either. I just freeze it and just put the almond milk or juice or water in it, and that's it.
I use coconut water in mine. What I did, and I'm trying it. It's something new. Welcome to the show. T Cal is in the house. Hey, what up, y'all? Um, what's going on? Hopefully, you had a great week. Um, so, what I've done, I bought some frozen fruits. That is, it's mixed fruits. So
Yeah,
each one is in individual bags, but they're mixed. I guess it's about 12 bags in each one. So I'll take about a cup full out of it. Then I'll add some blueberry to it, and then I add some yogurt and a little bit of coconut water for it can blend real good. And then today I added some black grapes to it, so it was actually pretty good. So I like it.
yeah.
Uh, how was your week?
Long. It took 2 weeks to get to Friday,
Yeah,
and
that's
I still
long.
have one more day. But I've been going into work pretty much all week, and I'm used to working, part time from home.
Mm.
But it's slow, and my brain cells, I can feel them dying on a daily basis. So I don't know. It's just crazy doodle. And then I have a review tomorrow. So,
Uh-uh.
we'll see.
We're gonna see if they're gonna do right by you. They're gonna try to stop you from going to that meeting.
Listen, it's already scheduled. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. T Cal said, I've been catching hell at work. I'm extremely tired and stressed. Woo. Trust
Got
me.
my second adjustment today
How was
in
that?
this week. Like,
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
I need to do
Listen,
that myself.
everything you gotta slowly get everything aligned.
I need to do an adjustment myself, but I haven't had a chance to do it. I've been so tied up. I know I said last week I was
Tied
gonna.
up?
Hey, blame my wife.
I was just saying.
That's the perks of being married, being tied up. Oh, wrong type of tied up. My bad.
But no, I
Yeah.
plan on getting a massage, going to one of my little Asian places, and get a little woman to walk on my back.
Ooh, I haven't done that in years. I guess it was before pandemic, before I last time I did it. And the first time I went to this lady, my wife and I just came back from Aruba. And when we came back, um, we I was in so much pain. I was just back hurting. I'm like, man, I guess the long trip and when you go out of the country, and hey, we had a good time. But
Yeah.
I came back and I said, baby, I gotta get me a massage. Massage envy couldn't get me in. So I said, okay, fine. Found this little place, went in there, and my wife said, she gonna walk on your back, right? Shoot. That woman got up there and walked on my back, talking about, I feel good.
Yeah, I've always wanted to have that done. Now, I've had somebody scale a wall to get the knots in my back, like
Oh
he
no.
used it for leverage. And I felt nothing. I was like, I knew he was pressing down on me, but I was like, I'm in bad shape because I should be feeling this. And he's literally on the wall.
Mm.
But the place I discovered, I think it's in Coppell. It's questionable little place. They may do extra services. I don't know, but they work some knots out of the girl. I
Well,
may have to pay them a visit. I don't even think they really speak English.
I this place, they was good. She walked on my back. I actually caught a couple of females a couple of times because they had it all on your back. They get up there and walk, and then all of a sudden they flip, and just my
They
reflex.
put too much oil on it.
I'm like, hey, and my wife and I actually have done a couple massage there. Then I think the last time we went, they had signs up in there talking about if you ask for anything extra, we will call the police. I said, okay.
So no happy endings.
I was
Well, this
like,
place did not have that sign, but I suspect they do everything. And then they have bars on the wall, so I'm sure the girls walk on your back.
yeah. Now, the first time I went, it was kind of like it was guys coming in there. But before I got finished with my massage, they had came in after me
Hmm.
and they left about 10, 15 minutes later. I'm like, I don't know what in the hell going on. My wife, because the first time she didn't get a massage, but she was like, it was so many guys came through here. They only stayed in here maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And I said, oh, hell, they work in that house on the other side.
Yeah, usually when you go to a place like that, it's longer than 10, 15 minutes because, it takes them
Exactly.
10 to 15 minutes just to go through the clothes and make sure they're not wired. Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But I,
That's
I,
for another day when I was looking for jobs. Hey,
hey, gotta make sure,
I was a massage therapist back in the day. I've been
gotta make
recruited.
make sure they ain't. It's not a setup. I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel you. Oh man, we had some history made today. Some great history. I know we said we weren't going to do history, but this is current history that is going to go down in the books. Um, Katanji Brown Jackson. Congratulations to you. Uh,
The first,
congratulations.
she's what, the
The
first black
first
woman
black,
to the high court.
exactly. And all those Republicans, especially Ted Cruz, Cancun Cruz, um, how he talked. And my wife pointed out that at the end, He waited to be one of the last Republican to leave the Senate, and he was clapping harder than anybody else. So
But also, it almost ended in a tie, but there were what, three Republicans that put her over.
yes,
Uh, what was it? Senators Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, and Mitt Romney of Utah. So they voted for her, which gave her win. Because it was touch and go for a minute because they were like, if it's split, like I don't remember what would have happened or who would have broken the tie, but from the stories I read a few days ago or yesterday, I don't know what day I'm in, so forgive me. Um, it sounded like it was going to be at like the hands of a Republican who didn't favor it, and so I was like, oh crap. But fortunately, it worked out well. She's in, and like you said, it's a historic day. Um, so yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're living in like the last few years is like everything that we do our lives, the pandemic, everything is history making. So all of this, if they don't whitewash it, will be in the history books.
exactly. And welcome to the show. Miss Karen is back once again. Thank you for tuning in. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. We are live tonight. Um, that's so true. As so much history had been made during this pandemic, which is great. And when you talk about whitewashing, no, I had a conversation with myself this morning. No, yesterday. Yesterday. Um, and I was talking to myself about the critical race theory, and when you talk about whitewashing, the thing is, my point of the critical race thinking, the way that they talk bad about it, that's a face that someone actually made up. Basically, they should want the history of America to be told for generation to come, for we won't find ourselves in that predicament no more. And then on top of that, you should be teaching your kids not to behave like your ancestor did back in the days when it come down to slavery and stuff like that. So,
Well, and
um,
also respect, because I don't know if y'all saw it, but once they confirmed her, most of the Republicans walked out before it even finished, like before they even finished their speeches and honoring her and things like that. They walked out. They were like rushing to the door.
but
And everybody else just sat there and they were just waiting. It's like, y'all just hateful. Like, just give it a minute and chill. Like, I know you're not in favor of it, but respect the process, respect the legislation. Just give them the respect you want the Dems to give you.
and the thing is, regardless of what would have happened, like Miss Karen said, it would have been a 50-50 tie. And guess who would have had the deciding vote? Vice President Kamala Harris. So what's the purpose of even being a part of it? Just to say you was there, just to let people know you didn't agree with it.
Right.
She
Like
was
we
gonna
already
get
knew.
in regardless. So
Yeah. I'm glad there are people who actually saw that she was qualified for the job and they put her in there. They overlooked the Republican Democrat points of views. It's like at the end of the day, it's all about the best person for the job. Who
yeah,
cares about what your affiliations are? Because at the end of the day, it's you want good people in these high level positions.
true. And not only that, when it comes down to parties and stuff like that, I personally don't feel like we need to identify with parties.
Right. Because they've morphed over time. Like they're no longer what they were of yesteryear.
Yeah,
Like everything's flipped. Like the views have flipped and now they're become more extremist as either this or that. But I'm not that. Like I like some of the views of the Republicans. I like some of the views of the Democrats. I like some of the libertarians, which is right in the middle and takes a little bit of everything, and so I'm there. So I shouldn't be judged just because, well, I like what, this Republican's saying. I mean, doesn't mean, as long as it's there for the people, because you want to have somebody in office with the same views as you that is representing you proudly, who are doing great things with the country and not just for selfish reasons. It's not
exactly.
Dems versus you Republicans. It's what can you do? What are you planning on doing?
And any politician that get into office is not about um, one particular class of people. You serving everybody, regardless of what party you are a part of. I heard this interview last week, I believe. Um, Shout out to Dwayne Carroll. Welcome home. Um, Former pro tem Dallas mayor, Dallas mayor pro tem city councilman. He did an interview last week. Of course, we know he cannot get back into the political office, but he still have a voice. He still have a voice, and he can say what he want to say. So shout out to him. The interview I heard last week was um, really strong. It was good. It was a great interview that was done by him, and he's like, "Look, yeah, I cannot get back in office, but that don't mean I can't do this. I can't say this. I I'm all about for the people. What's best for the people. I don't have to be in office to give my advice on things. So shout out to him. So um, then I was trying to decide which one we was gonna do next, but oh, while we on this, Tim Scott, yeah, Tim Scott. I believe he's the Senate of South Carolina, Republican Senate of South Carolina. I believe it's only three brothers that is in the Senate, and he's one of them. And of course, he voted against um, Judge Jackson being um, nominated. And of course, uh, um, no, the internet don't play. And first thing I said is always they said it's always one of us trying to hold the other one back. So uh, and why it's on my mind today is the last day to register to vote. If you in Dallas, fill out your voter registration card. If you're not registered, take it to the main post office. It need to be post dated by today for you can vote May 7th. Because we need to change Texas. We definitely need to change it. Just like the comment that um, I did not read her comment. She said, I can't stand that gummy Tim Scott. uh, I don't blame you. I can't either. He looked like what's that character from Fat Albert in the game with the
What, Mushmouth?
I think that's it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know who Tim Scott is. Let
Uh,
me Google him right
yeah, I
quick and then
know.
I can tell you.
I know when he came out and did something before, and they was comparing him to Mushmouth or something. Um,
Oh, I remember him. Yes, yes, yes. All in gum. All he needs is a beanie. That
yeah,
little.
that beanie cover his eyes. But Tim Scott, if you are in South Carolina, let's do him like we're gonna do Ted Cruz, Greg Abbott, Ken Patson, Dan Patrick, Dan Miller. Let's let's give them a reason to get out of office. Vote them out.
They're
Vote them
not
out.
because they're lifers. They're gonna get their money, their long term, lifelong benefits.
Well,
Um,
we need to make a change. And speaking of Greg Abbott, that dumb comment he made yesterday, and that's why I watch the news at different times, because if you watch it when it's first done, you're gonna get the real version. But then by the time you get to the even news, they're gonna chop it up, make it where it don't sound that bad.
well,
So
that's what
yes,
they do with news. Period.
they
And
do.
every channel has a different version of the same story.
Well, yesterday when it first came out, Greg Abbott said, "What we're gonna do to these immigrants, we ought to just send them up the road, put them on a bus to DC, put them up on a bus to DC, send them to the White House, come back. It was to the Capitol, um, to the steps of the Capitol. We
But like,
seen
why?
exactly.
And
Well,
then it's like you're spending money on gas. You
I
gotta
was
house
gonna ask the
people.
same
Like
question.
it's too many. Like you couldn't even keep the Haitians here. You sent them way back, and like no, like what would be the point? Like why? We already know people coming over the border. Like why send them to, various government entities to prove? Like what point are you trying to prove?
Well, the thing is, um, I look at it like this: all the money Texas is spending, all our tax dollars that they are spending to fight against what President Biden is doing. They spending all this money, they keep losing, keep going back and forth to court. Then they find the right judge, say, okay, yeah, it's wrong. But then you talking about putting folks on a bus, sending them back, and who gonna pay for that?
Yeah, but then once they're there, then what? You got to ship them back to where they come from. Like you did all this, and to get back to send them back home.
Well, a lot of people saying it's a political stunt, because
Well,
what
duh.
he's trying to do, he's trying to please a certain group of folks, because he's up for re-election this year.
But how
That's
is he
why
going to
it's so
appease them by
important.
shipping people to various government entities? Like, what's the point of that?
He just
Like, just
talking
to
out the
show,
left
look at
side
all
of
these
his mouth.
people that crossed over. What are you going to do about it?
Well, that's why I say all the time, he had the opportunity to get the wall built a long time ago. Flick Rick had the opportunity to get it built when he was governor. So the Republican have ran Texas for over 20 years, and neither one of them talked about it up until Trump got in office. Now the border is a big thing. That's the biggest thing you hear. That's their campaign. Any Republican that's talking about running, that's the first thing they mention is securing the border.
I
That's
mean,
all
you
they
can
talk about.
secure the border with manpower and maybe cameras but a border wall is not going to work. Like, again, we've seen it time and time again. We already have domestic terrorists, we have other threats to this country, and people looking for a better opportunity is not a threat to our society. Like,
Exactly.
and
Oh, this son
they'll
bitch
get
right
in.
here. Hold on,
Yeah, I don't
hold
know what
on,
that is.
hold on. I'm about to block him. Because I don't know. I just seen the first part. I'm
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what
no,
that
I'm not
is.
trying to show that. Okay. Oh, they stuff gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was
don't.
so weird and random. I was like, it was so colorful in the corner in my periphery.
Yeah, they blocked them. Uh,
Good.
uh, that's one
Like,
thing.
no free advertising here for your porn site, sir.
Exactly, and they blocked on YouTube and on um on this platform too. So that's good. So go and take your perverted stuff on.
Yeah, go on somewhere.
You know who it might be though.
No,
Yeah, you know who it might be.
no.
It might be a friend of Larry.
Larry.
Yeah. Oh, Larry, Lawrence. Well, they call him Larry, but also, um,
Was I on the show when he was on?
No, no, Larry Ray. Larry Ray. You know Larry?
Mm-mm.
You said you want to talk about him tonight. You know the
Who?
player, the trafficker,
Oh,
Larry.
well, yeah, I don't know his name. I just know, like, just if we're going into the story, like, I hadn't gotten to that part.
Oh, my bad. But I'm just saying he might be a
All I
friend of
know
Larry.
is dad convicted of running sex cult.
Had his daughter.
I didn't realize we were talking about that right now.
Well, I just thought about it because I looked at the picture. I said, "Oh, that might be a friend of Larry."
I thought you were insinuating like evil donkey or all the other people. Like, dude, you got to narrow it down the field. I don't know.
Oh, I
No,
figured.
I don't know Lawrence like that.
Well,
All right. So since he brought it up, there was a dad convicted of running a sex cult out of his daughter's dorm room.
mm,
This occurred somewhere in New York. A man, he had somehow charmed his way in with her schoolmates with stories of his wisdom. Um, he was convicted Wednesday of charges of exploiting the close knit group. He used threats of violence to enrich himself with millions of dollars. So not only did he do like the sex cult, but he scammed people out of like thousands of dollars.
millions.
Um, Lawrence Ray, 62, um, uh, was chronicled as psychologically manipulative with his relationship with the young people he met in the fall of 2010 at Sarah Lawrence College, which is a small New York liberal arts school. They stated that after he finished a stint in prison for securities fraud, he moved into his daughter's dorm. Now, he also had an apartment somewhere, but apparently he just took up space in the dorm. Not sure how he did that without eluding the RAs or security, but whatever. I don't know what the school is like. But sentencing is set for, I think they said September 16th on charges including racketeering, conspiracy, forced labor, sex trafficking, and obstruction of justice. Ray stood with his arms at his side and faced the Manhattan jury as guilty verdicts were returned on 15 counts. He could face up to life in prison. Um, he's been in prison or he's been in custody since the early 2020. Um, let's see, it stated that for um, who said this? For the next decade, he used violence, threats, and psychological abuse to try to control and destroy their lives. So this is a U.S. Attorney Damon Williams quote. He stated that he exploited them, he terrorized them, he tortured them. And he stated, "Let me be clear, Larry Ray is a predator, an evil man who did evil things. Today's verdict brings him to justice," end quote. The deliberations um, uh, were took happened in less than a day, and but it was a month long trial featuring testimony from various victims who referred to Ray as Larry. They made them believe that he had poisoned or otherwise harmed them, and they needed to pay him back. One woman testified that she became a sex worker to try to pay reparations to Ray after becoming convinced that she had poisoned him. She said that over 4 years she gave Ray 2.5 million in installments that averaged between 10,000 and 50,000 a week. Who had like
She was
he's
helping.
scamming socialites? Who has 10,000 to 50,000 per week at their disposal? Like you like this couldn't happen at a black school. Be like, listen, I could put 5 on it. if that, like. But let's see, they twice the trial they stated it was interrupted as Ray was taken to a hospital in an ambulance for undisclosed illnesses. So he was probably faking illnesses to prolong the trial and his sentencing because he knew he was going up the creek. Some of the students agreed to live with Ray in the summer of 2011 at his Manhattan one bedroom apartment, where his sinister side emerged as he started to claim that the students had poisoned or harmed him or his property. So I guess when they got there, and the scam was they were living with him or in close proximity, and then he faked an illness, and then he was like, "You poisoned me, you got to pay money, or you're going to jail." Like, food, take me to jail because I ain't do it. Like, simple as that. That's how they could have ended that. But I don't know.
Well,
Personable youth. I don't know what else he was doing, but it involved torture. But the fact that these people are giving them thousands or millions of dollars, um, I don't know.
well,
There's got to be more to the story than what they're presenting on now. What they're presenting.
one thing that stick out to me, this went on for 10 years.
Yeah,
And
decade.
why is a parent living in the daughter dorm room?
Right. Like, he
Isn't
had an apartment, but apparently his presence was there. So you like the RAs weren't alerted to this. Like, nobody. Like, he was just the cool old creepy man,
he was the one providing the well,
the good goods.
yeah,
And
some.
maybe that's what kept him there, and able to stay there, is because he's trading favors for, for keeping quiet. Like, he's pimping out these girls or, boys, I don't know. Um, because I think there were some boys that were victimized, but I'm not sure. I know they were giving them money, but that may have been just for poisoning. But I just can't see it. Like, I don't understand. Like, nobody visited their kids in school and be like, who's this old man?
Why is your kids in school for 10 years?
Yeah, like, just on and off for 10 years. But, you know, if we don't know, like, was his daughter in the same dorm? Like, how
Well,
did
they
he?
said he lived with the daughter.
Yeah, in her dorm, but not all 10 years. Like, I don't think that, like, she ain't a doctor.
I don't know. And she's
But
facing
he also,
charges
but
too.
they said he had an apartment that he had some people live in. So I'm sure he met them in her school, in her dorm, when he was staying there, and then got an apartment, and then had his little sex cult and whatever. Because I can't see, unless she's taking one class a semester, being there for 10 years, and she's in the dorm for 10 years.
When she was
Dorms
a
are more
sophomore,
expensive than apartments. Like, I don't know.
he was a sophomore. She was a sophomore when it started.
Yeah, so 3 years max.
But nobody didn't think nothing about this. Why
Yeah,
is this old ass man at the school all the time?
right. And I understand, like, especially living in a dorm. Because usually when you're that old, yeah, you can go to school at any age,
True.
but you're not living on campus. Like, you're not, unless you
Yeah.
work there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't live in dorms when you're that old. You don't.
And then
Not today.
they're gonna do a background check too and see that he just got fresh out the joint. Um,
Right. But like, I still have a bunch of questions. Um, what was the one? I just saw something. Where is it? Let's see. It says he, in 2018, for hours, he repeatedly abused the women who gave him her proceeds from sex work, forcing her to be tied naked to a chair while he berated her, choked her with a leash, and made her fear for her life by putting a bag over her head. Um,
I seen that too. Uh,
oh, he carried out his crimes with the help of his daughter, clearly,
she
and
faked the
Isabella
charges.
Polak, a woman who has pleaded not guilty to criminal charges. Her trial is set for later this year. So she was probably like the Ghislaine Maxwell of the group, like they were recruiting girls or people. I don't know, don't discriminate. Um, to bring to her father who abused them and put the fear of just death in them. But again, like at some point, these kids, especially they come for money, they talk. Hey, some man tied me to a chair, get him out. You know what I mean? Like if you had that kind of money, I can't see people allowing this man for 10 years to be able to recruit and abuse these kids in this college, especially it's a small college. So it's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand. Like, are these people not talking to their parents? I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the way it go. And speaking of school, so they don't put a freeze on a student loan again.
They need to just pay it off. They should just clear it because at the end of the day, like we talked about this before, once they kick it back into gear, it's going to like the interest rates are going to go up, and people are going to be struggling to pay it anyway.
Yeah,
Like it's ridiculous. Like why keep pushing it? Because we're losing more money, or they're suffering more, and they got to recoup their losses. And I know, I guess Biden I almost said Trump. I know, I guess Biden doesn't want to forgive all of it because at the end of the day, it's a lot of variables because you'll have some people saying, "Well, I paid off my stuff," and then how far back are you going? Like, are you going to credit the ones who had already paid? Give them some kind of tax break for paying off their loan. But it's too many things you got to think about, and I understand it. But listen here, dude, just just clear it. You already know it's $1.5 trillion to clear it 100%. Pay them, they get their money, and we're done with this. And then worry about the fallout later with the people complaining because nobody's gonna like it 100%. Like everybody hates everything, especially if they're not a part. Like I'm still mad at the stimulus package because they didn't really do what they needed to do. They didn't take care of the middle, or the lower middle class. Like they were focused on these tax credits for children, and not everybody has children. And 1,500 for each kid. Well, if somebody has 8 kids, like that's like all this free money. Like, and what about us? Like, we got what, 2 stimulus checks to cover something that lasted a year, and people are just now getting back into the groove of things in the job market. Like, give
exactly,
me a gas card, a Walmart card, something. Like, it's like nobody's gonna like anything they roll out. Biden, 100% clear it. Don't worry about them. They want to buy a house, give them a credit on that.
exactly. Um, so they need to do something. Take care of home first before you
Yeah,
go
stop
and
sending it overseas. Like,
yeah,
stop.
exactly.
Since y'all such patriots, America.
Take care.
But but we sending all our business to China, India for cheap labor. Okay,
Exactly. And bring jobs back to America.
like for real. Come on.
Now they up here playing the the blame game on who fault it is why the gas price is going up. It don't
Like it's all y'all's fault. Greedy,
exactly all of you greedy.
greedy heifers.
Um, so I know we've been seeing a lot of stuff in the news lately. Um, before we get to this last one, these kids. I know you sent me. I don't talk about me
What?
because I know we didn't have that in the lineup about these kids coming up being abused. And
Oh no, yeah, I think I shared that with you because we were going into this, that dude, and I was like, well, it can go with that story.
yeah, kids being abused, and it's really terrible. Even here locally, I think last night it came out on the news that um, a young baby in Didden being abused by the boyfriend of the mother. Been out of school for a couple of weeks. Mother didn't take him to go get no help or anything like that. But the baby ended up dying. A young child, I forgot how old he was, but ended up dying to the hands of this abuser, to this murderer, and which is really crazy. And then even the story you sent me, um, uh, T Cal said she seen the story too, and the boyfriend did look crazy. Um, so T Cal seen it. Um, it's too much going on with kids today. Too much.
I
We
also
have to.
think if we had better health care, we would we would take care of all of these issues, with mental health, because a lot of these things, especially in the Black community, we don't. You talk about the therapist, we ain't crazy. That's like the first, you get that response. They think that therapy's only for crazy people. No, it's to keep you from going crazy. You need to talk to somebody. You can't dump all your stuff on civilians. Like,
Exactly.
we're dealing with our own stuff. Like, we can't handle all this. And we have a long history of trauma, whether it be from, slavery, and, all that stuff sticks with your core because, they were breeding people in this environment. And like, we severely have PTSD. And then our parents grew up in abusive households and raised children in abusive households in some way of, form of another or another. And we haven't recovered from that. We haven't had time to breathe, and people are losing their minds because now like back in the day, you could work with your hands and be a mechanic and do this and that. Now we got to use our brain, and our brains are overloaded. We don't know how to do all this stuff and keep it under control like we could back in the day. Like, nobody's going out anymore. Then the pandemic happens. We're cooped up in the house with all the crazy, and maybe with your crazy family members 24/7. We need a break. We need some relief, and people, we need to have access to free health care. Other countries have figured it out. Why can't we? Because
Exactly.
people want to make money off of poor and sick people.
And so definitely, if somebody's needing help trying to figure out, you stressed out. The biggest part that stood out for me about this mother, she knew what was going on, but she chose a man over her child.
And that's how it always is.
No parent should choose someone else over their child. Your child should come first, behind God. But
And
now
then, but
you
they
got
always say, but I didn't, money's tight and he's helping out with the bills and the. Listen, that child came out of your body. That is your responsibility. Like, it's your duty to make sure that child is taken care of and survives. And just to have a warm body in your bed or have somebody split the bill is not a reason to have them walk all over you or that child. You got to do
exactly,
better. People do better.
and I know I'm gonna go and say it myself. You're gonna be upset at me.
Am I?
Yeah, cause I forgot about something else. I'm about to send it to you. Just to be on the safe side. But I forgot about the story that I seen earlier today about this young man from North Texas. Um, Um, Someone had posted it earlier today, and I sent it to you. I believe it was on Instagram. Um, but they finally did arrest the girlfriend. Um, I guess she was a. I don't know if he was. His girlfriend was the only fan, uh, model, whatever. But apparently, her and her boyfriend got into it. He's from North, from North Texas. Um, Trying to get his name, Kristen Mbushle. Is that about right?
I don't know. I'm still looking at this, trying to find the story.
Oh, I I
But I
had
think
put it
I
in.
think I saw you gave that to me because I recognize this picture. He's
Yeah,
not a Nigerian. So what is it? Umbaseli?
something like that. Um, but what came out? Apparently, him and his girlfriend got into it. She stabbed him. The police refused to arrest her, but apparently, maybe 5 hours ago, um, they finally did arrest her for fatally stabbing her boyfriend in in a apparent domestic violence dispute. Um, Violence is never the choice. It's not. Um, if you with somebody, especially someone you say you love, if y'all get into an argument, time out. Somebody leave. Come back, talk about it after y'all cool down. Cause I never
Yeah,
believe
it's not
in.
worth catching a case over or losing your life over.
Yeah, I don't
Especially if
believe
it's
in
just word
arguing no way.
slinging, you know what? Bye.
I don't even
And
do
if
that
it's
because
that heated, you don't need to be in that relationship.
exactly. I don't argue nothing like that because if I do, I'm gonna say stuff I don't really mean. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Forget you.
I mean,
But
for real.
then
You ain't nobody got time for that.
you got to come back and apologize. So I brought the
And
story
as a
up because
Pisces, that ain't gonna happen my direction.
well
To the
as a
death.
Gem well as a Gemini, you never know what you might get. I pray for you in 1 minute, cuss you out in the next, and then apologize. So
Me, I'll just pretend like I didn't even know you in life. I will cut you through the core. Like she looked right through me. Like we didn't just date for 2 years.
hey, you don't want this food I just bought you? I don't want
Ain't none of that.
nothing from you. No, but that's how it is. But definitely praying for the families because here it is, young man, 27-year-old Christy Tobin Ubunsley. I don't know if that's right, but
I think it's some bum celly.
okay, that sounds good
You
too.
like Nigerian? You actually pronounce like every letter,
Okay.
according to some Nigerians I knew back in the day.
Um,
It's like how it looks is how it's.
but I'm glad that they finally is starting to get some type of justice for this young man, but it was an outcry for that. Lord have
Because
mercy.
it got it pat it got through all it pretty much went viral. Like
As
she's an influencer, and I don't remember what he did, but yeah, it's like come on now.
yeah. Hold on, stop the press real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, straight out of Seattle, Miss Robin is in the house. Long time no see. Says she a Gemini too. When is your birthday? Cause mine's the 13th of June. So thank you for always tuning in, watching the replays. Hope all the kids and family is doing great. Um, but thank you for tuning in, supporting the show. We really appreciate it. But I wanted to hit on that real quick because I forgot about the story. We wanted to talk about it, but want to make a point. Violence is not the right answer. It's not the right answer.
Sometimes revenge. Oh wait, that's not. Oh my bad. Never mind.
Uh, we miss you too, Robin. I don't be on Facebook that much, but whenever I'm on there, I always see you posting pictures of the kids, and boy, they have gotten big. Um, Hers is June the 4th. Boy, we're gonna turn up all June long. We're gonna turn up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a message later on, Robin. I'm gonna send you a message offline. So hopefully, I'll send you a message. I'll send you a message. We'll talk about it then. But June 4th, Gemini's in the house. Y'all better get ready because Gemini's gonna take over. Don't trip because we don't know. You don't know which one you might get. That evil or the good one. So I'm normally good. I have control over that evil part.
Not,
But don't.
not control of your evil parts.
Well, they say Gemini's had that good twin and evil twin. Um, so
Y'all two-faced.
well, for
Well,
me, for me,
see
I
what had
know,
happened was
and thanks to my counselor, I've gotten it under control because back in the days, I could be cool with you. You say something wrong or say something fly to me, I'll cuss you out real quick and then turn around and apologize to you. So it take a lot to get me to that point, but don't try me. It won't. Don't try me. So I can't get to that point. But other than that, it's like, hey, I'm a cool person to be around. Just don't piss me off. Um. Oh, Robin says she's an identical twin. All right. And boy, my wife and I are Geminis, and people always say, how can y'all be married for so long?" Communication. Communication is the key, and so that helps out quite a bit. Communication. That's all it is. Communication, and realize if we get upset, ain't no use arguing. We can sit down and talk about it. And that's why I tell people all the time, my wife and I, we can talk about any and everything. Don't matter. We're in this together for life. For
it's
life.
like, and even if you're like in a situation where you don't like somebody and you just hating on them, like stop, don't nitpick, just chill out. Like, you're only hurting yourself in the end. Like, because what the last thing you want, especially if you're in one of those, you're married to somebody and it's been like long term, is to push them away because then you'll just be looking stupid and have no one to talk to or complain about. Like, just you make up your own life. Like, how whatever you want to get out of that relationship, you can help make that happen. Like, if you're miserable, change it around.
Exactly.
Like, don't fall into the same patterns. Like, grow up and just listen to each other or take a step back. If that doesn't work, then maybe that relationship isn't for you.
Yeah, and I think what really changed me was once my daughter was born. That that completely changed my attitude once she was born because I was like, you know what? I gotta be able to look out for her. Can't do no attitudes. I started laughing while ago while you was talking because of what Robin put up. We took turn being the good and twin
Because
or
that's what
evil
that's
twin.
where my mind went. I was like, oh, it's two of them, and they're the same Gemini. I was like, oh
Said
man.
100% communication, Wellington, to bend when it won't break. You are in a desire to have a good relationship. Yes. I told my
Or even
wife,
compromise. Just compromise. Meet in the
compromise.
middle. Like, you don't have to totally give, but again, you gotta live with these people or be in a relationship with. If you want to make that relationship work, there's some compromise that's gotta happen. But both parties have to be in agreement
And have to
about
want it.
for that.
Have to want it to work.
Exactly.
That's the key. Because I know for me, like when I talk, one of my neighbors, they just got married the end of last year. And I told him, I said, man, look, Whatever you do, communication, compromise. And this is my meaning of compromise when you're dealing with your spouse. It been a lot of events that my wife want to do. And I have to ask myself, do I want to make her happy? Or do I want to sacrifice that time to go with her? It's not going to kill me. I can sacrifice 2 or 3 hours, however long it takes, just to go. I'm going to make the best of it. Then after the fact, get rewarded. uh, but
Listen, happy wife, happy life.
exactly. So you have to compromise. Now, I will say, we've been married for almost 15 years. Um, it only been maybe a couple of times I just put my foot down, said, "Baby, I just can't do that. I can't." And here's the key. I'm talking about going to the movies like 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm not paying to go to a movie to go to sleep. So I,
Like,
I just
you're
can't do
not a
that.
teenager anymore.
I'm like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm good. But the latest I will go to the movies by 7 o'clock. Anything
Well,
after
I have to
7,
be out, and it definitely can be a Marvel movie. Because listen, they have to lock me in and be like, "Well, we gave her the key; she was sleeping."
wait a minute, I seen a video on social media last week where his brother fell asleep in the movies and they kept trying to wake him up, couldn't wake him up. He was out. Had the recliner chairs, had his foot up, and he was laid back and snoring. I said, damn. But that would be me. But I can't do it. Been many of times my wife and I went to the movies late in the beginning of our relationship. She'd be like, elbowing me, baby, you snoring. Well, look, it's late. It's past my bedtime. Um, but I will tell you this. We went to see Spider-Man No Way Home. And Spider-Man, if y'all want to sponsor the show, please uh, reach out to us.
Me Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel, Spider-Man, either one of them. But that was a damn good show.
I love the Marvel movies, and I
Throughout
Spider-Man and the Thor movies are my favorites.
Thor, I fell asleep on.
Of course, you did.
But Spider-Man, this last one, it was good all the way through it.
Yeah, I,
All
I,
the
I didn't
way.
like that they made me cry.
No. But
But the person next to me, like, I got a little misty. I
it was some
represented,
dust.
OC
It
through
was
and
some
through.
dust.
Can't show my emotions. But the person next to me was like,
Wait a
I was
minute,
like,
what part was y'all watching? Because I was
the
even
the latest one.
yeah, but
Isn't
what
that the
part?
No Way Home?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know which one. What was the name of
Oh, you talking about
the
when they
latest one?
yeah, when they went back through time and
No, they
I
just
don't know.
brought alternate
Yeah, I know when they
realities
brought the other
together.
ones. I know when
Yeah,
they
it was
brought the
it,
other
it
ones
was
in.
yeah. They just brought them all together from different dimensions.
Yeah.
They didn't go back in time.
Well,
It's a
I'm just
different. But
I'm trying to
no,
figure out
when
what part
there
made you
was
cry though.
the death. Come on,
Which one?
I can't. I don't. Well,
Of
by
all of
now,
them?
spoiler alert. When Aunt May died,
Oh, okay. Oh, Aunt May? Oh. Oh.
you know what? You know what? I almost called you the N word, but not that one. Negro. Clearly, you know what? You're stricken from everything.
Uh now I didn't realize Jamie was up in there.
Jamie Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I didn't know he was
clearly you
up
haven't
in
watched
there.
any of the Spider-Mans.
No, I watched No Way Home, but I didn't know he was in there. Have he played in
How'd
other
you
ones?
not know he wasn't? Like they show his whole face. He was like the
I didn't watch.
well,
Shh.
clearly. What
Wait a
were you
minute.
doing?
Hold
You
on.
fell all the way asleep.
Don't tell nobody.
You tell
I
you rag on
only
yourself. You like
no.
who? Who died? Who
Hold on.
this? Jamie Foxx was in it. I didn't see
No,
him.
I did not know he was in it until I seen it. I didn't see none of the previews because Spider
Well,
Man
they
not.
didn't. I don't think they showed him in the preview.
Yeah, see, Spider Man is my wife thing. You know,
Yeah,
Hercules,
but
Hercules.
yeah, he was in what? Yeah, it was the Toby. Was it the Toby Maguire or the other one? I don't know. I need to watch all the Spider Mans because I do have like Toby Maguire to me that was the best one. I do love Tom Holland. He's cute as a button.
Who?
Love his Spider Man. That's the new Spider Man that you just watched, the No Way
Oh,
Home.
oh, the
Peter
one that's
Parker, the one
the
you're familiar with.
hold on, the one that probably not going to come back because he asked for how much this next time? 100 million.
Well, he's already
Mhm.
signed. I don't know how much, but he's already signed for five movies. So that deal is done.
Oh, because he asked for 100 million for the next
But
one.
he's also trying not to be stuck in that role because he wants to get married and have children, and but and not be like a 30-year-old Spider-Man.
Hell, he ain't nothing but what, 18 now?
He's 25
No. Oh, okay.
and he wants to
Rob,
have babies with Zendaya.
I feel you. Robin said, I always fall asleep in the movies. I never go no more. Well, when I go, I have to give me some popcorn. I always pack a bag of sunflower seeds. I don't know what it is, sunflower seeds.
And
I
just spitting all the seeds in the floor. I hope
no
they
no no
are
no I
shellless.
no I don't. No, I
I
don't.
hope they don't have shells.
No, they have shells. That's the only ones I will eat. I don't spit them on
Just
the
sitting
floor.
up there.
No, what I would normally do, um, once I finish eating my popcorn, I spit the shells in there and do that.
That's a lot of salt, Curtdog. A
You
lot of
know,
sodium you're taking in.
but you know
Popcorn
what?
and your
You know
seeds.
what's strange about it? I was in the trucking industry for over 20 years, and whenever I go to the doctor would always say, um, he would always say, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. I say, well, look, I eat a lot of sunflower seed. He said, well, apparently it's working for you. Tell me keep eating. But I don't have issue with blood pressure, thank God. Uh, so yeah, that's
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the movies this weekend. I know I said I was gonna do it last weekend, but I was lazy. I need to
we
go
was
see Morpheus.
we was gonna try to go today, but I had so much stuff I was trying to catch up on. Couldn't do it. So uh T-Cat talking about how about smacking? Yeah, some people do smack. Uh, that part.
I almost had to hit somebody in the throat crunching on that popcorn like that. That's like popcorn does not sound like that. When was the last time you eat, dude?
Wait a minute, Robin taking lunches in, talking about I like to snack on grapes, sneak grapes and some pistachio,
Well, at least
oh,
that's better than
and
what we
cheese
used to
and
sneak in, Kurt. Don't think you never brought in fast food. I
oh,
had whole Taco Bell in the movie theater one time.
oh, I have one better than that. Years ago, probably 20 years ago, me and a young lady went to a late night movie. We stopped by Williams Chicken before we got there. William brought brought a box of chicken up in there, and then we went back on the back row because back then they didn't assign seats, so
Right.
we up at the top back row, and we got up there and it was some folks next to us talking about, "Can I have a piece of chicken?" So of course we gave it to them. We didn't care. And we had bought like an 8 piece. I'm like, sure, why not? Um,
No, I think I have a story that's got your chicken and my Taco Bell beat. Went into a matinee, um, crack of dawn. I was like, let me go see this movie because I got things to do, poker, all the things. Sit down, and this guy is 4 seats away from me. He has a backpack, pulls it out. All of a sudden, I just see a bowl, a box of cereal, and milk. This
oh
dude
hell no!
made cereal at this, but he was so close to me. Like I wanted to do this number. but he was too close. I'm like, this food has cereal and milk.
Hey, gotta have what you have.
But I mean, I guess it was too early for popcorn concessions. So he's like, I'm eating breakfast in the theater.
Hey, there you
I
go.
don't remember what we were saying.
Now, Robin, the type of sunflowers I see is only one particular type of sunflower seeds I eat. Uh, Frito Lay's. If you listening, if you want to sponsor the show, come on. We'll welcome you. But I only eat Frito Lay's sunflower seeds. That's it. I tried other kind. It's just not the same. I just tear that corner off, get up there, and pop a mouthful in my mouth, and have something to spit the seeds in. I'm good. So that's just me. Um, if that's not the ghetto, TK, call us ghetto. Call me ghetto. Uh,
But that's what we did because we back in the day was what was it was it a movie grill? No, it was the Grand
oh,
at
the
the time.
Grand
Yeah,
off
it
of
was the
Northwest
Grand.
Highway
So
and
you had all
35.
those restaurants in that lot. So my sister had burgers and I had Taco Bell because they're all next to each other. I think it was like what Wendy's and then Taco Bell and some other places. So we all had like fast food. Somehow got it in, but I think it was cold, so we had coats on, and it just smelled of just Taco Bell and greasy burgers.
Talking about, hey, we don't serve that here.
And then my sister almost got us beat up because she was throwing meat patty pieces of meat patties at the front row.
Oh Lord.
But incidentally, at the same time, my friend had made a little paper airplane out of like the gum wrapper and threw it. And the guy stood up, and we thought he was like trying to get us. And then my sister's like, "Yeah, we were throwing hamburger meat." I was like, we all almost got kicked out and beat up because that was a big man.
Well, I don't know if I ever told you about the time my wife and I went to uh it became Studio Movie Grill, used to be the
Mm.
Grand. Okay, that's another movie from the block off. Uh, there you go. But um so my it used to be the Grand, but then it became Studio Movie Grill. So one time we went to the show. I mean, I had just got my truck, so this truck I used to have, um, I parked it away from each other because it was a dually. So parked it away from everybody. When nobody parked out there. I come back. How about some fool parked so close to my truck, to the driver's side, where we had to cross over from the passenger side to get in. Boy,
I hate that.
I left them a nice little note.
Oh no, I like to leave dings because I'm
No, I
like,
wasn't finna
listen.
deem my truck on theirs. Oh hell
Oh no,
no.
well the way this car was, because it's like I don't know what I was doing. I was at the mall, and I may have been unemployed, but still had some income coming in, so I still wasn't poor. you know. So I think I was going to the movies. Nobody's out there. It's like I was waiting in the boonies, right close to the door. I get out, and this car is right there, and I'm like, what if I was fat? And so I squeezed in, but because it was at the edge, so you wouldn't have been able to see my dings unless you opened the car door because it's at the edge. And I left them a night like, and then
Well,
another time somebody pulled up on me and was literally on my license plate.
oh
I
no,
was
see, I
like,
used to hate that.
looks like
It's
this fool dented my license plate.
well, the thing is, when they park so close, you could have been 105 pounds soaking wet, and you still was not going to be able to get in my truck. And I used to have a tow ball on the back of my truck, and I would see people all the time when I go to the store or something. I come out and I see someone close by my bumper, and they been you could look at their license plate and see where they hit that toe ball. I'm like, oh well, that's on them.
Yeah,
One
but I
one
always choose violence. So don't park near. Don't park up on me, and don't let me see you coming out the car.
Oh,
Like
I left them a note.
no,
I
I
called
leave dings.
I called them all type of dirty. Hush your
Like
mouth.
that's how I roll. I don't care. And if
But
you
also,
walking out, I'd probably do one of these and then get in my car and just roll out slow and drive by them slow
say
like
something. Say something.
like for real. Like you had all this space and you parked by me. Like I'm in the back nine, like BFE, and you're all up on my grill. Like literally. No, I choose violence every time.
Yeah, because you could have been in a rental car, and you know how the rental car companies are.
Well, see the way I ding it, the way so it wouldn't have shown up really.
Yeah,
Like
but
they
they
would
could
have
have deemed
known.
they could have deemed the rental car
Yeah, that's true.
before
Yeah,
before they got out the car.
yeah, that is
So
true. But I don't think I've ever gone random places in a rental. Like usually it's working home because
mm.
I'm bummed that I'm not in my car.
Well, normally if we traveling in the U.S., I won't do it overseas, but in the U.S., if we traveling, I normally would get a rental car. So, but since we're talking about rental cars, um, Hertz. Mm. And you sent me that story earlier. These folks being arrested because they rent these cars from Hearst and end up the police stop them and tell them that the car was reported stolen 9 months ago. Now, I know people that worked for rental car companies before, and they used to talk about how they used to have to go out and look for their cars because nobody made a payment, haven't returned the car, and all of that. But Hertz felt it was cheaper just to notify the police that the car was stolen. And then once the car was returned, they never removed it off the stolen car list, which is another problem. Now, at least two people, um, the sister,
Oh no,
uh,
it's lots of people because it
it's a
says
lot of
about
people.
300 people.
No, I seen a story. It's over 1,000. It's over 1,000.
Okay, so it's over a
Um,
thousand, but it was a lot of people.
yeah, it's a lot of people.
To
But I'm just
where,
talking about the story that you sent me earlier, where his
yeah.
sister was going to nursing school. Going to nursing school, couldn't graduate, spent 37 days in jail because of Hearst. And his brother, he was also charged in jail also. And he was they both pled guilty, even though Hearst took that money. So here's the problem with that. The young lady had text message that she was doing between her and the customer service, and she was somewhere in Florida, and said every time she extended the car, they immediately charged her card. So they was getting paid. But then she go to pick up a pizza. Well, police pulled her over, called her by name, called her by name. And the young lady spent 37 days in jail, pled guilty because she had kids at home, had to get back to her kids, lost her job, lost her home, couldn't graduate from nursing school, have a felony. And if I'm not mistaken, when you get into a field like that, you can't be in that position when you have stuff like that, a felony on your account, on your record. So the thing is, her whole life have changed. All the money she done spent going to school is
Court.
gone. Court, Then she get released from jail after pleading guilty, even though she wasn't. This is what I say all the time to people. If you know you are innocent, you know this, especially a case like this, do not, do not plea out. Do not
But I
say,
mean, you never know the person's situation because, like,
I,
who's
I
got resources to fight that? And that's how we get railroaded a lot of times, especially minorities.
true.
You just, you're sitting in jail and you don't want to be there, and they say, well, you plead guilty to this, you can go home in 3 months, as opposed to whatever felony charge you're going to get for theft. Like
Yeah, but
nobody, chances are they don't have money to pay an attorney to fight this and prove that, hey, Hertz, like I rented this. Here's my contract. And by the time you see all this, you're already in jail for two months
what what the,
waiting.
what the only difference between this young lady, she had record. Every time she communicated with them saying I'm gonna keep the car longer, they charged her card. They
They
charged her
all
card.
do because
So
Hertz is
so
facing lawsuits from hundreds of customers who rented cars
thousand,
that claimed they were falsely arrested for auto theft.
thousands.
They stated that they said they filed nearly 8,000 theft reports annually over a 4-year period. So who knows how many people this really affected? Like you said, it was 1,000. It's probably more than that because they're probably still in jail and haven't been reached out to regarding this, situation. Um, And the reason for that, like you stated, people didn't return their cars in a timely manner, or they just didn't return their cars. They needed police to help tracking down their cars. Um, but usually, most of the cases that they stated on this report, Hearst claims that the vast majority of the cases involve renters who are weeks or months late returning a car. So the cars are returned eventually, but they don't clear up that mix up with the police. And that's the problem. And then when you get a minority pulled over, we're automatically guilty. And chances are we don't have the resources to, fight these claims. Me, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I like to say that I'd fight it, but if I don't have the money, like, and you got people, you know, I mean, I'm sure my family will probably help out. Maybe I don't know. Someone will be like, just please. But just out of frustration, I don't know. Like, I don't know. That's just crazy to me that they've known this for 4 years, and people are getting these theft reports. Like after an X number of people have been arrested for this, why wouldn't the cops or some investigator be like, "All right, Hertz, what's going on? What's going on?" So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Let's see. TKL. Yeah, it's just lazy. If you're going to the police involved, at least update your info. Yeah, people are, like I said, they're just lazy. But they state in this report, Hearst is accused of filing false theft reports against hundreds of customers who ended up being arrested because the company accused them of stealing cars. They state that they understand that it's challenging managing inventory at a rental car company, but Hearst obviously needs to do better. And it's their hope in these suits that the company is held responsible for these careless reports. Um, and if anything, just like a PSA needs to go out, like if you're driving a rental, don't break any rules while you're driving, because if you get pulled over and put in handcuffs, you know why. Uh, so, Enterprise, you know, what's that other place? Uh, I forgot the name of the other rental place because there's another one. We got
Well, it was one particular guy in the video you sent me was two guys and a female. They think he was Hispanic. He was in the grocery store and they came in, put him in handcuffs, but I don't think he was arrested. They let him go. And
yeah, because I think he actually had stuff on him, and he's like, "Hey, here's my contract." Da da da.
well, he showed them the contract, but the officer said in the video, well, I'm looking for the particular car because this car was reported stolen 9 months ago. So that's what the difference is, which I'm sure they knew who the young lady was when they pulled her over. And at the same time, it was kind of like, you know who she is. And they said the only reason why they did not draw their guns on her was because she had the surprised look on her face as for what's going on. She had no idea what was going on. So that's why they didn't draw the guns on her. But the brother, they drew on him.
Well, and then even in the video I sent you, they stated that in those cases, usually it's a 5 car response, and they're gonna have guns because that's a theft. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
Um, I think TK, I think I know which video you're talking about. She went to the bathroom at the gas station and it went down. The mother in I think it was in Cobb County, Georgia. Um, they, which is crazy. This mother stopped with her 2 kids, went into a golly, which one was it? Quick Trip, Quick Trip, and to use the restroom. Come back out. Police have a weapon drawn on her. Uh, they accused her of being a suspect in a bank robbery. They eventually let her go, but the description of the suspect was nothing like her.
it never is.
Well, I told my wife, I said, baby, I got a feeling the person not gonna look nothing like her, probably a different size and everything. The person they was looking for was tall and slim.
Well, remember recently the young black kid was arrested. He just happened to have the same name as the person, and the person they were looking for was an old white
White
man.
man. Exactly. So that's crazy. But man,
That's how they do us.
time sure do go by quick, don't it?
Especially when you disappear. I didn't see you disappear because I was looking at another screen and I was like, wait, he went. And then I saw your message like, all right, so let's keep reading.
Hey, I sent you a message.
Well, yeah, I didn't see it until I closed out my screen.
When I seen you typing a while ago, I said, okay, let me pull my messenger up because she probably finna send me a message. But anyway, Miss Risk, it's always a good time when we come on the show. Hopefully you get more days in, but I know it's a very slim. You're gonna do more than just one day. But uh oh, your computer and froze now.
What?
Oh, okay, never mind. Uh, let the people know where they can find you.
In these streets. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can find me online at RSKEE on pretty much everywhere. I live on Instagram. I'm trying to do more TikTok, so follow me on TikTok because I think my stuff is hilarious. If you want
It
to check out
is.
my works, rskeebooks.com. If you want to send me a message, rskee at yahoo.com. If you want me to follow up on a story and search some things, send it there.
Exactly. Now, how's it coming along with? You had mentioned something last week when we got off there. Said you wish you would have talked about it.
I've
Check your
slept since
message.
then.
Check your message. I don't want to put it out there unless you want to talk
No,
about it. Okay.
no, no. I mean, there's nothing to tell.
Okay. That's cool.
Not yet.
Well, you can always find me on social media. I'm gonna be honest with you. The best way of hitting me up, hit up my DM. I'm on. I'm getting better at TikTok checking my message. Sometimes it may be 2 or 3 days, but you can always hit me up on Instagram. Speak on it, Curtdog. I think it's speak on it underscore Curtdog, if I'm not mistaken. But just type and speak on it, Curtdog. You'll get to the right place. But also TikTok. I haven't posted no videos in a while, but I need to get back to it. So definitely check me out on that. And Facebook. Facebook, best thing to do, hit me in the DM. Um, Other than that, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Everybody that tune in, please like, share, tell a friend. We're live tonight. And we will be live again soon. So until then, we love each and every one of you. Peace.